Some tour operators might sail you to a destination on a cruise ship, then add a shore excursion. But a growing number of tour companies are now going beyond that and introducing you to pivotal moments in history, guided by great storytellers. The cruise ship simply becomes the vessel to take you to that history. On this tour, run by Chicago-based Gohagan Travel, they offer both the history and that very special storyteller.
Omaha Beach, when you see it, it's a very tough spot. We had to go there. They knew we were going to go there because if we were going to invade in the sector, because that's the best beach around.
This is Normandy, the site of the largest seaborne invasion in history. On June 6, 1944, over 150,000 Allied troops landed on these beaches. And leading today's visit, professor and noted World War II historian David Eisenhower. He's the grandson of Supreme Commander of Allied Forces Dwight David Eisenhower, former President of the United States.
Now there's a pillbox right there. That's we knocked a lot of rock off that pillbox, but it's still standing.
This solemn but beautiful stretch of land draws as many as 1.5 million visitors each year.
Now this is a place where Americans come to witness the scene of this miracle of the D-Day landings. This is a place that people feel they ought to see.
Gohagan Travel helps make that a reality, working with many university alumni groups, planning shore excursions to Normandy as part of a 10-day European cruise.
Yeah, this is a very impressive bunker.
Providing an elevated experience, guided by Eisenhower's decades of expertise.
The Overlord front.
Before the shore excursion, guests are able to attend onboard lectures from David to help gain perspective on Operation Overlord, the Allied effort to open a Western front in Normandy.
The objective was not merely to win the war against Germany. It was to win the war quickly, and to achieve that objective, we were going to have to run major risks.
Then they're brought to shore from a serene English channel, a stark contrast to the conditions of that day.
Where we're standing right now, can you imagine the German soldiers here looking out on the morning of June 6th?
You know, you have a lot of emotions on any battlefield. Imagine if you are a soldier of the 709th Division or rather Germany, and you look out on 3,000 ships. Probably your first reaction is, I will not survive today. But of course, the people who are facing the challenge of crossing the beaches were undergoing the same thing.
Well, on this particular site, on both sides, they were all confronting their own mortality.
They were.
The reminder of what was sacrificed is plainly evident nearby, at the American Military Cemetery.
Welcome to the Normandy American Cemetery, where we honor men and women who gave their life during the Battle of Normandy and rest in peace today here in this cemetery.
Eisenhower leads a wreath-laying ceremony here, where you're able to honor those who gave all.
It must be that there are times great issues arise that challenge our sense of security and our sense of well-being and our sense of self that require Americans and others to do extraordinary things. Thank you. Beautiful.
For those who have family who served, and even those who didn't, it's a stirring moment.
It was very important to come and see everything, and really, it does bring tears to your eyes.
Well, it's important to me. I've served in the military a long time, have a military history in my family. I know so many people of the greatest generation, and this pays tribute to them making that sacrifice.
David, full name Dwight David Eisenhower II, was named for his grandfather. And in fact, President Eisenhower named the presidential retreat, Camp David, after his only grandson. But not surprisingly, much of what David learned about the war did not come from his grandfather.
He never talked about the war around me. My grandfather did not want to go through ABCs. Children, here, gather around, let me tell you a tale. I think that he did not want to relive it to that extent, but I would say his attitude was in various parts. Matter of fact, I think that he saw the victory here as the great triumph it was. He said, well, the soldiers died here in the cause of representative government. It's that simple in his mind.
And here amongst the 9,386 graves, there's plenty of opportunity to reflect.
When you come out to the cemetery, what feeling do you have?
I make an effort when I'm in the cemetery to try to imagine the person who's behind the name and the gravestone, and to imagine that person and what went through this person's mind, and how they reconciled themselves to the risks that they were facing, and what their aspirations were for the future and so forth. Why do Americans cross 4,000 miles of ocean to come here? That is a question that bears asking. I think we identify ourselves with the peoples we came from. It mattered to us that things were happening in Europe, and that therefore we had some sort of duty to become part of it. They made a better world, they really did. They made a better world, and it's poignant that they were not part of it, but they gained in the process great honor, and they are honored here in a remarkable way.